Back, episode 8 of the Two Casual MMA podcast, the podcast for the casuals from Two Casuals. Kenny, UFC 299, another one in the books, mate. What are your thoughts on that bad boy?
Mate, and what a one to put in the books. What a card. That's probably one of the like my favourite cards of all time. That was just unbelievable, back to back, just great fights all night. How good.
Well, this is the thing, mate. Usually we have a weekly podcast, and we did a podcast yesterday with our predictions and whatever, but the card was just way too good to just sit and wait and be like, oh no, I've got to wait a week to talk about it. We need to get this shit out now. I need to talk about it now, right now. It was
Absolutely.
that good. Out of 10, mate. Honestly, I'm a hard taskmaster when it comes to the UFC, but I'm giving UFC 299 a very solid 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I could even maybe 9.5. I'm not sure what else could have topped what it could have made it a 10, but overall, it was a pretty solid card from top to bottom.
So today the plan is we're going to just go over our thoughts about the main card and what's next for some of the people that were on it. I just want to quickly say, mate, both of us got 2 out of 5 regarding our picks.
I'm so happy I was wrong about some of them, though. Like, I'm stoked I was wrong about some of them.
I'm claiming that at the start I picked Sugar, so 3 out of 5 for that.
Let's just pick both of them, man.
Let's go.
Get it right in there.
But no, 2 out of 5 is actually not too bad. It was a pretty wild card. It's I think it's going to be important to kick things off with. We'll kick things off with the main event, mate. Sugar Sean O'Malley defending his bantamweight title against Cheeto Vera with a unanimous decision win, 50-45, 50-45, 50-44.
Yeah.
Mate, I think Sugar was absolutely masterful, mate. I thought that was a masterclass.
Yeah, his striking was unbelievable. And how durable is Cheeto, mate? Those shots.
My God.
Jesus Christ. I picked him to get KO'd in round 1, and I couldn't be more wrong. Like, I don't think you can KO that bloke.
No joke. I said yesterday whilst I was watching it, that knee that Sugar caught him with, 99% of people, including UFC fighters, get KO'd there. That man is otherworldly durable. There's no one knocking him out in that bantamweight division. Nobody.
The sound of that knee was just unbelievable. It did crack. It sounded like a car accident or something. And he just took it.
But mate, like we said during the week, that I think I said that Sean O'Malley gets better with each fight as each fight goes on.
Yeah.
And after yesterday, prior to the fight, I thought, can he defend his belt multiple times? And I thought, no. But because of how good his striking is, I think there is a chance that he can beat someone like a Merab Dwawashili. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Because I think his striking is that good that he can either snipe him or just keep him at bay, because he was otherworldly yesterday, Sugar, I thought.
Yeah, my opinion on that has changed as well. I think his striking is probably even more impressive than Merab's cardio. Like, he's unmatched. Like, there's no one, like maybe Izzy, something like that in the UFC, but he just is everything. His feints and everything he puts together. It's so good. It's very impressive.
I was just about to say that. I was just about to say the way that he set up his strikes with his feints just caught Cheeto off guard, like unbelievably, and just the way that he's able to switch up stances constantly and give people different looks regularly. He is a nightmare. He's a nightmare matchup for anybody.
And then because he throws so many fakes, when he does just throw straight shots, it's unexpected. Like, he throws a lot of, like, he'll do a lot of fakes and set up shots, but then he'll just go back to straight 1-2s and straight, like, and it's unexpected because it's not coming from feints or anything. So yeah, it's very good, very very fun to watch.
As the fight went on, it was kind of funny because after 2 rounds, when Sean was piecing Cheeto up, I was like, this fight's going exactly how I thought it's going to go. Nothing was surprising me. Obviously, the level of how good Sean's striking was still impressive. But I was like, Cheeto's got him right where he wants him.
Yeah, he's going to open up soon enough.
But, like, obviously we, can give all the credit in the world to Sugar Sean O'Malley because he deserves it. But I also think Cheeto Vera's chin deserves a mention, and the fact that he never gave up on the fight. And a lot of people are saying as well, oh, Cheetah, just bite down on the mouthpiece and just start throwing him. He would have known that he would have had to do that. But Sean was that good that he also was good at getting out of the way and not being able to take as much punishment as what Cheetah was willing to throw at him.
Yeah, and every time Cheetah got him to the fence, Sean was out of there, right back, taking the center of the octagon. He was not giving, like, Cheetah had his moments in a couple of the exchanges, but Sean was out of there, and he was right back. He was back to the center of the octagon, and he was in Cheetah's face straight away. Like, he didn't give him like a moments to break, like moments break, and he was there the whole time in his fight. It was Sean's fight, 99% of the fight.
It was one of the greatest striking performances I think I've ever seen in the UFC, mate. That's a massive call, but he just keeps getting better and better. I've been a fan of him for a while. Like, I really enjoy watching him fight. Not a massive fan of the antics, but regarding his fight style, I've loved him for a long time, and he's just constantly evolving as well and getting better and better. But, mate, as for who's next for Sean, he called out Ilia Topuria in Spain. Get the jet ready. I want to go to Spain, Dana. Mate, what are your thoughts? Who do you like next for Sugar Sean O'Malley, mate?
I think Ilya's already tweeted something that he needs to deal with Merab first. So I think that's probably... I like the call out with Ilya, but then he kind of backtracked straight away. He should have stuck with it. He should have stuck
I didn't like it either, mate. I didn't like the fact that he backtracked.
Straight away, like, just stick with it and call your shot. You're the guy now. Call your shot. You get to choose that fight. So he should have stuck with that. I think he fights Merab next. I think he might be the favourite against Merab now. Like, I'd probably pick. I don't know if Merab can take those shots like Cheeto did.
That's the beauty of the UFC, which is chop and change from like month to month.
Oh yeah, from week to week, fight to fight. Like, it's crazy. Yeah. I think the only criticism I have for Sean is he probably could have finished that fight. Like, I know Cheeto's durable and has a chin, but there was a couple of moments there where he had Cheeto hurt and he kind of went for some flashy stuff rather than just ending it. So, I mean, he's obviously, he got the killer instinct. He finished Aljo, but there was probably a moment, one or two moments there where he could have finished that fight, just putting it on Cheeto, but he went for like a spinning back heel kick and stuff. But that's probably the only criticism I can see from Sean.
I think that there are big fights to make, and in the UFC, it's all about the big fights. Yeah. And I like the idea of Sean O'Malley versus Ilia Topuria in Spain. I like the thought. I like the thought of two strikers going against each other. But I am with Dana 100%. I think that he has to take Merab next.
Yeah, that. I mean, if he beats Merab and Ilia gets a win against whoever, that fight's even bigger.
Then set her up. That's right. Yeah. I think they need one more defense each, and then set her up.
I think like, there's no doubting. Like, I don't think there'd be any problem with Sean going for a second title now. He's shown how good he is. So I don't think anyone should have an issue with Sean moving up and going for a second shot. He's shown how good he is. He knocked out Aljo. He put on a clinic against Cheeto. I don't think like that should be an issue, but maybe he still has to defend against Merab. So.
Masterful performance from Sugar Sean O'Malley, but there was also someone else on the card. The co-main event, my God. Seriously, what the hell happened? Like, yesterday, I said in the thing, I haven't been a Diamond fan, like, and the reason why I want to just clarify to everybody, because people think I'm an idiot for not liking Dustin Poirier. He has ruined my life 3 times. Or more than he's ruined my life 4 times. So I'm a huge Max Holloway fan. I'm a huge Justin Gaethje fan. I'm a huge Conor McGregor fan. And he's beat all 3 of them. I think that's why I've had this like sort of thing with the Diamond. But mate, he made an absolute fan out of me yesterday. I was very, very surprised at just how much I screamed when he let his hands go, because there was a part in that fight against Benoit Saint-Denis in that first round where he hit him with a couple of shots and he sort of wobbled him a bit. And I was like, why isn't he doing this more?
Yeah.
Like, jumping the gilly. Just kept jumping the gilly. I liked how he said that Mike Brown was like, stop jumping the gilly. And he's like, no, I'm just going to keep jumping the gilly.
but that's maybe where JDM got it from his last fight.
Maybe, mate. But like Dustin Poirier proving that he has absolutely still got it. And I love the win even more because it's a fight that he didn't actually have to take. And I love the throwback to Eddie Alvarez saying, like, Eddie gave me my shot in Dallas. I'm giving this next crop of up-and-comers the shot as well, it just made me respect him a hell of a lot more. And I know that I probably should have been a fan of Dustin prior to that, but because of that, and I was all about the old guard yesterday. I was like, come on, the old guard, let's go. And he did it. He did it for the old guard. And he did it for, like, I guess, my era of UFC. And I was just really proud of the Diamond.
Matt, how good? How can you not be a fan of him now? Unbelievable performance. He's shown time and time again he's like one of the top guys in the UFC. Absolute legend. Probably the best guy in the UFC, in my opinion, to never get that top title. Like, he's been interim champ, but he's never got the undisputed champ. Will he? Could he now still? Like, he might get it, depending on the result of the Justin Max fight. He could get that next title shot, and maybe he does beat Islam. Like, that would be an unbelievable story if he could finally get to that top spot. But I don't know how. Yeah, you have to be a fan of Dustin now,
mate. Speaking of that title shot, so it's funny because, like, right now, obviously, Justin's got Max Holloway at UFC 300, Charles Oliveira and Arman Sakarian.
Yeah,
they have each other as well.
Yeah.
Call me crazy. Call me nuts. Book that damn fight. Dustin Poirier versus Islam Makhachev. Book that right now. Book it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening with Islam. He's obviously he's not got nothing booked. I'm guessing he's waiting till Ramadan's over to get something booked. But I think Dustin probably does skip Charles. I'm not sure if he skips Justin, but he probably skips Charles even if Charles wins. So I think it depends on the result of Justin and Max.
Mate, I think even with Charles winning, I think even with Justin winning, I think Islam came out with a tweet, and so did Ali Abdelaziz, saying that they want to fight in June. So it's not too far away, which is 3 months away. Yeah. And with UFC 300 next month, I think that's too quick a turnaround for Justin or Charles or Arman. And I think Dustin's in that spot where he is a UFC Hall of Famer. He's done everything that there possibly is to do in a UFC career, bar win undisputed gold. And the fact that he has come off with barely any damage against Benoit Saint-Denis, I think Dustin has done enough in his career to earn the right for one more crack at the title right now.
Yeah, it probably has, but it's hard to justify giving Dustin a shot over Justin when he just knocked him out. So
that's true.
I don't think they'll book anything until after 300.
It's a funny old sport, mate, because I would have said the same thing. I said, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that Dustin would get over Justin. But here I am saying, book it now. Book Islam versus Dustin deserves one more crack at undisputed glory. He deserves it. Yeah, he deserves it. And if he's not to beat Islam, well then he just sails off into the sunset with an epic career. I mean, it's no bad thing losing to Islam Makhachev, Khabib Nurmagomedov, and Charles Oliveira. 3 like absolute Hall of Famers. But Dustin absolutely made a fan out of me yesterday, mate. After that first round, having said that as well with Benoit, I think Benoit's only young. I think Benoit can still bounce back from that. He showed a lot of good signs. I thought his grappling was really, really strong. And as Dustin said, he said, I've had hands harder than that, but he was a really strong guy. And I think like he could really smother many more people. But just like Dustin's been, the experience pays, mate. And Benoit's only 28. You know what I mean? So I think he's still only young. I think just with some time, I think he still could get into that top 10, maybe even further. But that second round where Dustin just let the hands go, my God, I've never been so. I can't remember the last time I was that amped.
Yeah, Benoit, I think he'll eventually get a title shot for sure. I think he'll be around for a while. I think he's come out and said he had staph, so he may have been a bit compromised in that fight. And that's no slight to Dustin or anything, but like I think Benoit will be back, and he's going to be around and in that top echelon of that division for a while, I think.
Mate, I just wish people would just own their loss. Like I don't like. I had something wrong with me. But just put your hand up and just say I lost the fight. And don't even tweet anything. Just say congratulations to the Diamond. I'll be back. Something or other. But someone's always got an excuse. But Mate, up next for Dustin, I actually like Islam Makhachev because nothing else makes sense for Dustin right now at this point. He's taken somebody who is really low on the totem pole. He's already fought. He could fight Justin again for a third time, but if Justin beats Max, they're both coming off wins. It doesn't make any sense for them to go against each other. So now I think it's a good time for maybe Dustin versus Islam. Maybe Justin waits. Maybe end of the year. I don't know. What do you like, mate?
Sounds good. Nah, sounds good. I like it. I don't think they'll book anything before 300, but I'd be stoked if they gave Dustin that shot next. But we'll see. Even though I'm a massive Oliveira fan, I wouldn't mind seeing Dustin getting that next shot.
Just because Islam has already fought Charles.
Yeah.
And I would like to see him fight new blood. I'd like to see him fight Justin and Dustin.
Yes,
right. He's new.
He can't fight Oliveira again. He just fought Alex twice. Like, he needs to fight something. He needs a new
someone new, mate.
Yeah,
he does. Like, he just does. And I think there's a story there because Khabib's already fought the both of them as well. But mate, moving on. What did you think of Michael Venom Page's performance? What did you think of his debut against the Trailblazer Kevin Holland?
I'm a bit torn. I don't know if it was the way MVP fought that made Kev fight like that, or Kev just got frustrated and didn't and gave up essentially. Because it wasn't like the striking battle that we seen Kev versus Stephen Thompson. I think MVP hits a lot harder than Wonderboy. I think he kind of clipped Kev Holland a few times, and that sort of backed Kev Holland up, and he didn't want to get clipped. Like, he seemed just a bit off with his timing, MVP. But I think if he got that timing right, he probably could have slept Kev Holland, and I think Kev Holland was a bit wary of that and didn't want to get in close. Like, so I think MVP proved he can make it in the UFC. He deserves to be there. I think credit goes to him for frustrating Kev Holland. So yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a fun fight. Maybe not from Kev Holland's side. I think he maybe gave up a bit, but yeah.
Kev's one of those people, mate. He's such an oddball. He's done shit like this before. He just like puts his hand up, just gives up on fights, and like talking to his opponent, and then talking to Dana on the outside. Like, he's one of those people that I feel like if you can frustrate him, you just get the worst side of him. And,
if the fight's not going his way, then like he kind of you don't see much out from him.
And you could see that he was just bamboozled by MVP. Like, you could just see it, and. I'm going to just completely judge MVP here because the story is about him coming over from Bellator. He's been spoke about for years, as this elite level striker. Mate, I hated the walkout. Absolutely hated it because Izzy has already done that Undertaker shit before. So like, I didn't love it. I was like, oh, come on, mate. Like, please. And he was taking his sweet ass time to get out into the octagon. I was like, mate, time to get in. But once he was in there, my God, I was captivated. I was like, whoa, look at this guy. Like, I loved his stance. I loved his showmanship. I loved that really odd style of fighting. I just liked that it was something new and it was something fresh. And I don't know, man. There was just something about MVP like throughout the week as well where I liked him as a person. And then I liked the way his showmanship in the octagon. So I think I'm on board the MVP train from here. Will I tune into his fights from here on in? Absolutely, I will.
Yeah, it's interesting. His next fight will be depending on who they match him up with. If they're going to match him up with another striker, or maybe like Neil Magny or Jeff Neal, that'd be a fun fight. Or if they match him up with a grappler, maybe Sean Brady or Gilbert Burns, are they going to test his grappling, or are they want that flashy style still?
I'll tell you what MVP deserves after this, mate. After this win, and this is who I think his next fight should be for the title: Leon Edwards. No, I'm kidding. I'm absolutely kidding. I know you're such a rankings guy, and I'm just like, give me the title.
I think with another win over a ranked guy, I think that's a fair argument. Like, but I think he still needs to. Kev Holland was a good start in the UFC, but it wasn't really the test. Like, he didn't. I think he had him down on the fence for a minute or so, but and then MVP got up pretty easy. Actually, he looked quite good getting off the ground. So matching up with someone like Gilbert Burns or Sean Brady would be a good fight, I reckon.
The fight that I would like to make is a 5-round main event: MVP versus Wonderboy.
That'll be fun.
It'd be so fun.
I think I'd probably back MVP on that, but yeah.
It'd be a really good. That'd be a really good matchup, mate. I think because of both of their ages as well. I think it's a fair fight. Both their styles, got like karate / kickboxing style. I think it would be really cool.
Yeah.
But am I a fan of Michael Venom Page? Yeah, I am. I like the way that he spoke after the fight as well. He's ticking all the boxes except for get some originality with the walkout and stop taking your sweet ass time. Just start walking, just a little bit quicker. But besides that, huge fan. I loved what he brought to Fight Week. I love what he brought to the cage, and I loved his fighting style. It was just something fresh and something new.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff. It's obviously much more exciting than watching some grapplers not do much. So yeah, it was a good fight.
Lead the charge, sir. Lead it for the next one.
The next one.
Go on. Hit it.
JDM versus Gilbert Burns. What a fight. Unbelievable stuff. How good did JDM look?
Mate.
I think it was his fight for the most part. He like was saying it while watching it. He couldn't he like not to get sucked into a dogfight with Gilbert, because that probably wouldn't go his way, and he kind of did a little bit, but I think he did well to maintain his fight and keep it where he needed it to be. Mate,
leading up to this fight, I had a lot of questions regarding Jack, old Jackie boy. I had a few questions because obviously the Kevin Holland fight, he didn't look that great. He looked good, but like he's been talked about as like a title challenger, like I am a title challenger. You've been saying it for years. Yeah. Jack Della Maddalena. I'm saying, mate, I'm waiting to see it. Where's this title challenger that you speak of? And then I'm trying to remember what is that guy's name that he fought? What was his name? The bald bloke.
I did say it last episode. But I can't remember.
I'll get it, mate. It's Basil Hafez.
Yeah.
So when he fought him, I was like, mate, where's this title challenger that I speak of?
That was on a late notice, an unknown guy. He looked pretty good still.
Well, mate, UFC 299, the title challenger stepped up, and I'm officially saying that I think Jack could have a very, very big career in the UFC. I said prior to the fight against Gilbert, but I picked Gilbert. I thought Gilbert would wrestle him and get a win, and it was looking that way. It was looking that way too until the knee from hell. My goodness! But like, people can criticize, and initially I criticized, and I was like, you know what? That was a lucky knee against a wrestler. Like it could do the same thing. Gilbert could do the same thing to JDM if they fought again. Yeah. But another thing that I spoke about in the previous podcast is Jack is only 27, 28 years old. He's a young man. He's not even hitting the prime of his UFC career, and winning against a top 5 opponent, even though there were times where Gilbert troubled him in the wrestling, even though there were some mistakes that were made by Jack in the clinch, in the grappling, he's still 28 years old. He's still going to learn from this, and he's still going to get better and better and better, because that man, regarding the stand-up game, he is as good as it gets. I'm giving him his due credit. He is unbelievable standing up. The way he can mix up his strikes from different angles, it's not just the slick fighting, that bang, bang, 1, 2, I'm just straight. He gets you. He gets in from different, all these, gives people these really weird angles. He's going to try. He is a problem, mate, for this welterweight division. I'm officially, I put my hand up. He is a problem. JDM's a problem.
Yeah, he's striking so good. It almost feels like he's in slow-mo, and he's seeing these shots. He's not coming in preemptive, like I'm going to throw this combo. He comes in and he sees the shots as he's throwing, and his jab is so mechanical. It's so good. He does need to work on his takedown defense. He got clipped with that when Gilbert faked the takedown and clipped him with the overhand. Definitely needs to work on his takedown defense, and maybe soon, he seems to revert to jiu-jitsu straight away. as soon as someone goes for a takedown, which he didn't look bad with his jiu-jitsu. He did very well at scrambling,
I
but
agree, mate.
you're not going to
I
out
agree.
jiu-jitsu Gilbert Burns. Like he was
No.
not. He was never in any danger, but Gilbert was always still on top and in control. Probably not even in control, but he always had an answer for Jack's scrambles until he got up. So I think he needs to maybe improve on his takedown defense and getting getting up quicker rather than reverting to his jiu-jitsu straight away. But he still looked good. He still looked good grappling with one of the best grapplers in the division. Like he wasn't out of his depth or anything. So
No.
I think, yeah.
I agree too, mate. I thought he did. I thought he did better in the clinch, like standing up on the fence.
Yeah.
I thought he didn't look in deep water, even when Gilbert, Gilbert had the control time at points. He didn't look out of water. There was a part in the fight. I don't know whether it was. I think it might have been round 3 where Gilbert had hold of him and Jack threw a punch in the whilst Gilbert was trying to get him. That was a mistake, and that led to Jack being on the floor. But he's not going to make that mistake again, because there were parts in the fight where I thought Jack's IQ was like pinpoint. Like the IQ for him to let Gilbert get up and then throw that knee.
Yeah,
because
we were all
a lot of people would have exploded and just went, I'm just getting up and I'm just throwing hell for leather. But he let Gilbert get up and just went in. That was fucking pure, mate. That was pure.
And that was after grappling with Gilbert. A lot of people would, take a back step there, catch their breath, then go back in. Jack was there, waited for Gilbert to stand, and then was exchanged straight away. So there was no let's reset and go. It was just go straight away. It was awesome.
So, mate, during the week, we haven't told anybody this, but Scrappy MMA, they shared our reel. Shout out Scrappy MMA. Shout out Jack Della Maddalena. Seriously, I think he's arrived, mate. He's arrived.
I was screaming I wasn't screaming, but I think calling out Shovcut is such a gangster thing to do. He's a boogeyman in the division. I love it, but I reckon there was a really good opportunity to call out Leon, see me in Perth in August, because who's going to main event the Australian pay-per-view? I think that was a prime opportunity to say, Leon, meet me in Perth for the title. He's going to fight Shavkat regardless, right? Shavkat's there, so he should have called out Leon, because if he calls out Leon there, that makes that fight. That cements that fight. Now he fights Shavkat. Maybe he might be the third card. He's probably not going to headline over, Rob or Strickland. They'll probably be the co-main event.
Yeah.
He could have had that main event in Perth, I reckon. He could have had that title shot.
We spoke about that in the last podcast, saying that if Jack wins, to say, meet me in Perth. If he wins in the way that he did against Gilbert, let's go. Leon Edwards. But having said that, do I hate the call out of Shavkat? Absolutely not. That is a mad fight. And again, I can't believe how much I've switched. My God, call me crazy. If Jack Della Maddalena fought Leon Edwards tomorrow, I don't know who wins that fight.
How good would that fight be, Stroke?
Oh my God,
that striking battle.
Whoa.
Oh my goodness, he should have he's actual gangster calling out Shavkat. Nobody's ever called out Shavkat, and that's sick. But I think he's kind of missed a good opportunity for a huge fight. Even if he beats Shavkat, he still gets that huge fight. But he had it in his hometown, the title shot. I think that's a bit of a missed opportunity.
Mate, I agree with you. But having said that, Jeff Neal gave Shavkat a hell of a lot of problems. And I think Jack is a better striker than Jeff Neal is. All he's got to do for the next little while is just work on the clinch game, work on the ground game. And I think, call me crazy, I'm turning into the biggest JDM fanboy now. What the hell's happened to me? UFC 299, you've done stupid things to me. I truly believe, mate, it's the first time you're going to hear me say it, I truly believe that Jack Della Maddalena could be Australia's next UFC champion.
Yeah, I think he might be.
I think he could do it.
Rob and Alex can get back there before them, but
I really think he could do it, because do you want to know another thing? And again, this is a little bit of a knock on Leon Edwards, right? But if push comes to shove in a firefight, because they're going to get into it, because they're two of the best strikers, I am backing Jack's heart and will over Leon's every day of the week.
Yeah, I agree.
every day. Because Jack could have panicked against Gilbert, like
I was
in some
panicking.
in some of those clinch situations. Because I've seen Leon panic. I've seen him panic. Jack did in Jack's toughest test in his biggest moment, top 5, Gilbert Burns. He did not panic. He showcased the IQ that you need to be a champion. And I think, call me crazy, I think I give the edge to Jack Della Maddalena over Leon Edwards. Call me nuts.
Yeah, because when Gilbert had him down in that last round, I think there was only like a minute and a half to go, and it was probably Gilbert probably won the second, and with that grappling, he was probably winning the third as well. And we were like, oh, no, he's got to get up, he's got to do something.
Yeah.
And it was like it kept going on, and he finally got up, and it was just, and he went for it, and I think that shows true championship mentality. And
I agree, mate.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. That was such a good win, and I don't want to turn this into the Jack Della Maddalena podcast, but my God, that man, he's arrived. That he has absolutely arrived. So JDM, bravo, mate. I'm sorry I was, wasn't your biggest fan leading up to it, but holy shit, am I on board now? Jack Della Maddalena versus Leon Edwards
is the best.
The West is absolutely best. I love the West. Get me to Perth in August. I like Jack's chances against Shavkat as well. I really do. Call me nuts.
Yeah, it's just if it like how good is Shavkat's chin? Can Jack stop him?
I think Shavkat is a very durable human.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think he's a motherfucker. I really do. I think the Jack and Shavkat fight for me is the title of who's the future of the 170-pound division. Yeah, I think they could both be champions at some point. And I can't wait because Jack's either got it has to happen next. Jack and Shavkat, that's the fight.
Yeah, that's the fight now. He's called his shot. Everyone loves it. Epic.
Can't wait.
So
bring it to Perth
hopefully in Perth, yeah.
Bring it to Perth in August, mate. I can't wait for it. But he's definitely arrived, mate, and he's been your boy. You called the shot 2 years ago, and I'm happy to say that I was wrong, mate. I don't often swallow my pride and say I was wrong, but mate, you were right. I'm with you. I'm on board the JDM Express.
You've come around on a couple of the guys on this card.
I love the Diamond. Yes. Day one Diamond fan.
the blokes that are always pulling guillotine. JDM and guillotine.
I love it, mate. The blood and guts. But mate, speaking of blood and guts fighters, to finish the podcast, mate, what a win for Petr Yan. My goodness. If there's a man that deserved a win on that card, Petr Yan might have been the guy. 2 split decision losses, one to Aljamain Sterling, one to Sean O'Malley. Obviously, the fight with Merab didn't go according to plan. But again, people forget just how good Petr Yan is. He showcased championship medal, whatever you will, the mentality of a champion in that fight yesterday against Song Yadong. And having said that, I think Song Yadong fought a very, very good fight as well. I thought it was a cracker.
Yeah, it was a great fight. I was probably one of the guys that sort of rid off Yan. Like I picked Yadong by a decision, but and it was looking that way in the first. It looked like Petr Yan wasn't like he's doing lots of reading and he wasn't doing much. But that and apparently he like I think Alex called it. He hurt his leg in that first round. I was watching Volk's reaction video today, and there was something about he hurt his leg, and Yan confirmed that. But then he just turned it up in the second and third round. He looked absolutely unstoppable. I think Yadong looked good, but I think that from the second, that was all Yan's fight. He looked good. He looked very good.
I think it was a classic. I keep going to call him Peter. Petr. It was a classic Petr Yan fight, mate, because Yan is notoriously slow starter. He in a lot of his fights, he's almost given up that first round, and then he's just come on like a absolute freight train. And this one was no different. Having said that, I think Song Yadong did what he could. I thought he brought the fight to Yan. He even had his moments in round 2 and 3, but I just think that the class of Petr Yan shone through in those later rounds, especially that late takedown in round 3. I think he got the takedown in round 2 as well.
Yeah, that was
but another late takedown in round 3 because I gave Song round 1. I think Yan won round 2. And I think just the mix of striking and then obviously the takedown at the end, it just showcased that I've been here and I've done it before. and I couldn't be more happy for him to get a win, mate.
Yeah, he looked really good. I guess that first round he was just getting those reads and getting locked in, because from round 2 he was seeing those shots really good. He was slipping, he was moving. He looked really nice. Like, he was landing very clean shots.
Mate, what do you think? This is a tough one. I was talking about this yesterday. What do you think is next for Petr Yan? Because I've got an idea for you.
Yeah.
I actually like a fight with Henry Cejudo.
Yeah, they haven't fought yet, so that would be a good one.
I think it would be good.
There's probably a few options in that division now. Maybe he fights Vera. Maybe has he fought Sandhagen yet?
Yeah, he's fought Corey Sandhagen. He hasn't fought Cheeto. That actually could be the fight. Yeah, you're right there, mate. I think with Yan winning and Cheeto losing, I think that could be the fight to make.
Yeah, because he's obviously not getting the title shot next.
No.
He probably needs another win to get back to there. But yeah, that could be it. Who knows, Vera or Cejudo, depending on what Cejudo wants to do. If he's retiring today or changes his mind tomorrow.
Oh, I love Triple C, mate. I'm a big fan of him. I love him regardless. The cringe, it just works for me.
He was very nice to us.
Either way, mate, I think no matter who Yan fights next, I think it's going to be an absolute pearl of a fight. Whether it be Henry, whether it be Cheeto, I think it's a fun fight for the fans, and I'm just glad he's back in the win column.
Yeah, same. I will not doubt him anymore. He's a very good fighter.
Mate, UFC 299 definitely delivered. All the expectation was there. It's certainly delivered, and it leads us to UFC 300 now. But UFC 299 as a card, it was one of the best ones in recent memory, I believe.
Yeah, it was very good. Loved it. It was a great card. Lived up to the hype, and probably one of my favorite cards in a very long time.
I agree, mate. And one last thing before we go, West is best. West is best.
Been telling you about JDM. Been telling you about West. West is best.
Oi, mate, let me tell you, I'm going to Perth in August, chanting West is best wherever I go.
Yeah.
West
never
is
leaving.
best. I love scrappy MMA. I love Jack Della Maddalena. West is best. Go Perth. But, mate, another one in the books, episode 8. We're just pumping these out in the reg now. Please, someone stop this freight train. Just call us Petr Yan. My God, that's what we are. A freight train at 2 Casual MMA.
Yeah, that's us, mate.
All right, mate. As always, absolute pleasure to have you on. It was awesome talking UFC 299. It was a massive card, and then onwards and upwards to UFC 300. Let's go.
Couple of weeks away. Let's go. Thanks, mate. Thank you. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, Casuals. Talk soon. Catch you later.